she's back and looking still like a mess. Hey everyone, it is Kelsey. Welcome back to my channel. So y'all probably know because you saw my last video and now you're clicking on this video. This video today is going to be about my second semester at Montclair State University, being a fashion studies major, because I said that I was going to start like a vlog series of my life at Montclair, and I kind of wanted to focus more or less on what I'm doing in my major study, which is fashion studies, so that anyone who's interested in not only going to Montclair to be like an art major or going to Montclair in general, like fashion studies specifically, I hope that this helps you so that y'all see kind of what we're doing. And maybe, I don't know if you would ever really want to go here. I'm not like trying to like give my school like a good rap or anything. If anything, I actually don't really like going to school, but like I'm gonna make this video anyway. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be talking about my second semester of freshman year. I guess I first of all kind of wanted to start off by saying that I am a commuter, so I do commute to school. I'm not a resident, but no matter if you are a resident or if you are a commuter, I just want to say that from October first semester until April of your second semester at school, it's gonna be freezing. Hence why I look like this. I have this pink turtleneck, this green sweater that's really thick, and then I had a huge jacket on today because it was freezing. It is so cold you don't realize. Like, I don't care later on if I'm looking like going to school, because like I'm just trying to stay warm, because it is freezing walking from car park all the way up those gosh darn steps to get to campus. It's just like too much for me. I need an underground tunneling system. Thank you for my TED Talk. Just gonna jump right into this and talk to you guys about my second semester being in fashion studies. As I had said previously, Montclair actually makes your schedule for the first semester, so I was able to choose the classes that I wanted to take my second semester. I ended up still taking 6 classes, which looking back, and that was a lot. Like six classes per semester is kind of a lot. So you might want to break your things up between like winter and summer session classes just so that it's easier. And what I did not know is that when you attend Montclair State University, you pay for the semester. You don't pay for how many classes you take. So by loading up on classes, it's one, like, yeah, you might think like, oh, like I'm supposed to load up all my classes and get like this deserved education for all the money that I'm spending. But it can be really tough when you have a lot of classes, just as a warning, depending upon your professors. Let's move on. So like I said, you have to take a college writing 1 and a college writing 2. So I took college writing 2 my second semester. I had a lot more fun with college writing 2 than I did with college writing 1. My professor was really chill. She was so funny. Like, she would curse. I don't even know. She was just, it was so funny. She would curse a lot. She actually wasn't there a lot either. So that was like kind of annoying because, you know, it's a writing class. Kind of need your professor there, but I still liked her and I didn't do terrible in that class, so I'm not gonna complain. Another general education class that I had to take that's required for all students that go to Montclair is a speech class, and actually most schools have a requirement for taking a speech class. Do I recommend it if you don't have to? If you don't like speeches and you don't like public speaking, if you take it, like, chances are you'll probably fail. I'm not gonna lie. It's better to kind of get to know like what you have to do to make a speech and like how to get up in front of people to talk to them. It's kind of annoying, but it wasn't so terrible. Like, you do learn things. As far as like your midterm and your final, we didn't have a midterm, I don't think, but our final, it was textbook based, and I will say I didn't do great on my final. I'm pretty sure I got like a C. So, but like everything else, like all the speeches that you have to give in between, they kind of help to like boost your grade up a bit towards the end. So I still ended up getting like an A- in that class, so it didn't really matter. I don't want to say that you should take it. My professor had said that every single person that she's gone up to after like they have given speeches and this and that, they say, oh, I wish I would have taken a speech class because I didn't know how to do this before I started doing this, like for a living or whatever. I don't know. Maybe you want to take it. I don't know. I don't know you. I don't know what you like. But we have to take a speech class, so that's what I took. Okay. The next class that I took was a statistics class. So there's actually probably a couple of options that you have to take a statistics class at Montclair. My statistics class was statistics with a lab. I had to go to school 3 days out of the week and learn statistics. One was so that we can have a meeting with our, I don't even remember what they're called, focus group leader. That's it. So you have a focus group leader that really teaches you the stuff 1 day out of the week, and then the other 2 days out of the week you go to the lab and you work on your work. So basically, statistics, you're in this giant computer lab, you go on the computer, you log into your account, and then you're doing statistics for a whole, I don't even know, I don't remember. After, like, if you have questions, there's people that walk around the lab and you, like, put a cup on the computer and they come over to try to help you with stat. Statistics, I will say, it's not necessarily as math-based as you think it is, but you definitely need to know a bit of math. They kind of teach you. It wasn't crazy hard. Nothing was hard until the final. Because for that statistics class with a lab, it's on Pearson SuccessNet and you can do all of your work basically at home. You just have to go in to take your quizzes and to go in for focus group. It really wasn't crazy hard because you had to go in and you had to take your quizzes, and you had 3 tries to take your quizzes, so you could literally bomb the first one and then get 80s or 90s or 100s on the next 2. It wasn't that hard. The only thing was that our final was not formatted like our quiz questions were, so it was extremely hard. But other than that, stat wasn't too bad. It's definitely kind of like a learning process to try to learn the material yourself and then go in to try and figure it out with the teacher and like this and that. But you figure it out. It's totally fine. Then another class that I took was macro. So let's talk about my macro class. Oh my goodness. I don't want to be rude because I'm not a rude person. I like to think of myself as that I'm not rude, but I couldn't tell you what I learned in macroeconomics. Literally, I could not tell you a gosh darn thing about macroeconomics. The only thing I know about macro and microeconomics is that macro is big picture, micro is little picture. So when it comes to talking about the economy, macro is big, micro is little. It's when you're I couldn't even tell you. It was just I don't know. I still managed to get a B- in that class because when I tell you this is really embarrassing, but don't forget, I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, guys, okay? But that's why I'm a fashion studies major. That's why I'm not an engineering or a science or a math. I'm an art kid, so don't judge. But when I tell you, I literally got a 52 on my midterm and I got a 50 on my final. That is horrible. That is so bad. But I still ended up managing to get a B-, so or a B, I don't remember, but I'm not mad about it. I'm thankful to her. But my friend who took a macro class, she liked her professor and she learned about macroeconomics. I, on the other hand, can't tell you. Okay, so moving on to the art classes that I took last semester that have to do with probably my major requirements, but maybe they're agented. I don't really remember anymore. My brain is fried. For my art classes, I took a class called Drawing as Research. So drawing as research is that's another interesting class. I ended up liking it more towards the end, but I really didn't like it in the beginning. It's actually really not necessarily a drawing class. You use a lot of Photoshop and things like Illustrator. You're mostly on the computer for your projects, but what drawing as research entails, professor is going to give you information on a bunch of different artists, probably the time period and really the art style that the artist had been doing. And then what you do is you go back and you research the types of things that they did, how they grew up. You're going to research that style a bit more. You're going to research in the library, which is kind of annoying. That's what my professor had us do. We had to research in the library, and then after we researched, then we had to do more art things. And those art projects, I'm pretty sure we did 3 art projects, but they're a process. So you start with literally something like one way, and then by like the next 2 weeks you have something different and you have a project out of it. We mostly worked on Photoshop, like I said. Just a warning, y'all are probably gonna have to buy Photoshop unless you're on university like 24/7 and can go to University Hall and use the Photoshop on those computers, because you need Photoshop to be able to do those projects. But I will say that I definitely have a better appreciation for Photoshop, and like I know how to work things and this and that. Supposedly I was supposed to take a class that would teach me more about Photoshop beforehand, because half of our class didn't really know how to use Photoshop. She had to teach us and give us tutorials and stuff. It wasn't bad. I liked my professor in the end. It wasn't too terrible. It could have been a lot worse. Now moving on to the next art class that I took was Color and Light, and that's simple and explanatory. Literally, that class is about color and light. You talk about primary, secondary, complementary, like you talk about colors, the types of colors, you talk about paints, pigments, and like all that jazz. It's definitely, my class at least was like, you needed to know like information. You need to know your primary, secondary, and complementary colors, but then you have to do projects with them too. So we mostly started out using gouache. I don't know if y'all have worked with gouache. It's basically like acrylic and watercolor. I think that's how she described it. Not my favorite medium, but you have to paint. So you start off with painting, then you move into photography. We had to do a project where like you have to use like gels and stuff to get a picture to be like different colors. I don't know how to explain it. But then obviously that's color, and then you focus more on actually Photoshop. You move into using Photoshop for your projects because you start making things on the computer. And also you use Photoshop to like retouch your photos that you had taken for some of the projects. I actually really liked Color and Light. The information part was kind of annoying. For me, I thought that everything that I knew was kind of like second nature, but when it comes to like definition-based things, it's a lot harder to remember definitions when it's just like second nature, like you don't have to think about it, but then you have to think about the actual definitions and like what they mean, if that makes any sense. That is it actually for my second semester of my freshman year of college. I guess like some things about like Montclair, honestly I don't really participate as much as I should be being a student there. The only thing that I really did was Fun Fridays, which is super fun. On Fridays typically they'll have like this time period or during lunch, I want to say, where Slam Student Life at Montclair, they basically set up like all these like stuffed animal things that you can like build a bear, but like you build a stuffed animal, you stuff it, and you do this. They have like fun little activities. That's probably where my tuition money is going, but like whatever, it's okay, it's fine. Which are typically fun. They end up like showing movies like in the beginning of the year and like all that jazz. You really just have to look around for activities and like read the email blast that they send you, because there's a lot of things to do that you should go to because you're basically paying for it through your tuition money. There's a lot of fun things. I guess like as far as my first year experience, looking back, I'm gonna say that it was alright. I think what mostly made me super happy about school was meeting my friends first semester and then being able to like take my classes. Since they were fashion studies majors, we ended up taking like the same classes next semester anyway, because we wanted to be together and like actually have friends and stuff. So that was like really fun. When I say this and I tell them this too, like they're the only reason how I got through freshman year, because I really did not like school at all. Looking back, it really wasn't that bad. It wasn't great though either. Like I'm not like the hugest fan of school, and I'm really excited for going into next semester and my junior and senior years to really be focusing more on fashion studies and what I want to do. Also too, if you guys don't actually know, when you're a fashion studies major at Montclair, you have to minor in something. So you can minor in either business, design, like fashion design, or communications, I believe. And so I actually hope to plan on double minoring in business and fashion, because I really want to have a little bit of both. And I'm not really sure what that is going to entail, but hopefully that will unravel in my future vlogs. That is it for this video, guys. I wanted to say thank you so much for watching. These are probably super boring, but just know that I hope that this helped you in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. If anything, you could laugh at how much of an epic fail I really am. That's all that I'm gonna say. I will see you guys next time. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.